Maren, Bjørseth, the title of the play you show here at the Körber Studio Junge Regie is called Terrorists. The play is being shown on Wednesday evening, so there was no opportunity to see anything of the play. Just explain me, what's your special approach on this subject?
Yeah, the play is called Terrorism, or Terrorismus in German, and it's a very strong title. I think it's something that we have a lot of associations with, or a lot of pictures, and actually the play is pretending to be a play about bombs and about Islam or something in the beginning. We're at an airport, and actually it turns out that it's not about the big terrorism at the airports, but it's about the terrorism between people, so how we act with each other in everyday life, and the terror in everyday life, and how that is connected to the bigger terrorism. Yeah.
The aim of the theatre is to show reality that's not merely closely linked just to the surface, but that is linked to a view that goes deep into things. What is the message you want to express with this play?
Yeah, I guess when I watch the play now, I think it says something about our everyday life or reality, but it is told, or at least I hope, in an explicit way. Like, it's not a naturalistic play. It's exaggerated. It's funny, I hope, and I think it says something about my view of the world. I think I'm a socialist, and it says something about how we all can do something with a bad effect or with a good effect. The whole play is kind of a chain reaction, so all the little happenings that the characters choose to do will have a huge effect on something else or somebody else. And I think that's an important thing in our society, that everything we do has an effect on somebody else. And that also means that if you do something good, it can, if we all work together, we can make something more beautiful in the world. And that's my kind of bigger philosophy behind the play. So it's really not about terrorism and making somebody look bad and somebody look good. It's more like situations that we know from our everyday life, shown in a grotesque way. And hopefully it will make us think about what that means for us. Yeah.
But it's closely connected to a subject, to an item of the political world. Now it's, well, let's say it's a dream or it's an illusion that in the field of arts, things can be judged with much more intensity than with the usual political way. What's your opinion about this, well, let's call it illusion or idea?
I love illusion. Yeah, I mean, we have seen some political plays here at the festival, and I think it's funny because I think a lot of people think that my play will be a very political statement because it's called terrorism, and I don't have a big political opinion with my play, except what I just said. I think that it has more to do with a human being in connection with a society and how we interact with each other. So I don't have a judging about the terrorist, because I don't know who is the terrorist. In my piece, everybody is a terrorist and everybody is a victim of the terrorism. So it's not black and white, it's gray, or it's a lot of colors. I don't know, it's not one thing or another. Yeah.
Which may seem kind of a reference to Sartre's thought that the hell that's more or less in us.
Yeah. The hell is no. What is it? The hell is the others. Something like that. Yeah. Or the hell is you. But we're all double, and I like to look at this. Yeah, I think it's really, for me, it has to do something with the connection between what I do as an individual and my connection with the society. And in this play, it's shown through a chain reaction and through exaggerated people. Like, they're not very complex. They're more like exaggerated characters or exaggerated feelings, or I don't know.
When you approach such a topic, what's the way you work? How do you make this approach in order to get things done, to get a very proper perspective on all this?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this isn't a big play about the terrorism that Al Qaeda or whatever does. I'm Norwegian, and this summer there was a terrorist attack in Norway, and yeah, that inspired me quite a lot. Not that I'm using it specifically in my play, but our perception of terrorism is Al Qaeda or Islam very often. That's what we think of. And in Norway, exactly the opposite happened. It was a white man, right wing, attacking the people who support the Muslims or the whatever, that kind of world. And I think that's so exciting, because what is terrorism if the one side is using it as a terror to the other side, and the other side is using it back? So I did a lot of research also on contra-terrorisme. It's called in Dutch, like the war against terror. So how much terror can you use in the war against terror? And what kind of weapons are you allowed to use? This is not something that you see directly in the play, but for me it was very important research to find the complexity. And after the this complexity of the theme is just very important to have a statement for me about what I think, because I think terrorism is not black and white. It's so it's so complex that you can't even stage it in just one way. And that's why I've chose this play, because it's much more close to my reality. So I'm not doing a play about Al Qaeda, which I never met or I never talked to or whatever. I'm doing a play about the terrorism that I know from my life. Yeah.
Sounds very interesting. It's also a question of perception, more or less. The Breivik thing in Norway, we had a similar thing in Germany. When we thought, well, the right-wing scene, that's more or less dead, and just they're closely looked at by the police, and everything's fine. And then there was kind of a series of different murders in over a period of 6 or 7 years, and in the end it turned out that some Nazi terrorists just they were the acting persons. What a horror! Just you consider them to be far away, but on the other hand, they were so strong in the underground, very active, very strange, and this change of perspective, this change.
They talk about it a lot in the play. In the beginning of the play, it's very much a moral. So they were talking a lot about what is terrorism and what should it be and what is it not. And then the one character says, "Yeah, why should you try to keep, or why should you try to kill?" Known people, like big personalities, if it's so easy to kill an idea. Because I think that the terrorism is the fear. The terrorism is the fear of something happening. So it doesn't have, like what Anders Behring Breivik, what he did is to make a lot of people, dead, of course, but he also made people afraid. And he made a different atmosphere in our country, which is, that's the terror. That's the how people in a different way look at each other now after this happening. That's what he wanted, us to look different at the world through his eyes. And I really, I find this whole idea behind the terrorism much more interesting than the terrorism. So the whole the thing that goes on in your head. And you could say that my play could be a mind fuck. It could be, that it's all in your head. You don't know. Yeah, you have to come and see.
Sounds spooky. Ooh. Just one last question. You just already mentioned it. You are from Norway, from Bergen, and when you take a look at the German stages, you always see plays from Ibsen. They're very en vogue in Germany, and I always wonder why. Because it's so full of melancholy, so dark often, and sometimes very, very far away. But anyway, they're very much en vogue. What's this like in Norway itself? Ibsen is quite strong, quite present there.
Yeah. It's. I mean, you have a lot of these big authors in Germany, and we have Ibsen and Fosse. So that's our thing. So every year there are very, very, very many performances of Ibsen. And actually, it's kind of funny, but I need to make 2 graduation pieces in my last year, and terrorism is my first one, and now I'm making another one, and that is. A Doll's House of Ibsen. So actually I'm going to start rehearsing that in April, so that's kind of exciting.
Very exciting. Maren Bjørseth, thank you very much. Thank you for the interview and all the best for the play.
Yeah, thanks. I hope you like it.